Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our first look at the new Japanese premium heavy cruisers, the Southern and the Eastern Dragon, and the Miyoko. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Spartan, what are you talking about? Why are you doing a Amitha for both ships in one episode? Well, it's because it's literally the exact same ship. Regardless. Alright, I'm not doing two separate videos for something that is identical with the exception of a paintwork. Like, I'm not doing it. Even though I think I did kind of with the, back in the day, the Warhammer Nagato, but there was one in two different nations, which is why I did those separately. But these are literally the same nation. They are identical in every way to the fully upgraded Miyoko. So, that's all they are. They're just a Miyoko with a paint job. I don't know why they didn't just want to sell the camos. I guess they got to make some money, but seriously. Like, honestly, I don't see the point of anybody buying these. Just going to throw that out there. If you really like the Miyoko, by all means, pick it up. If you had to choose, I personally go for the Southern Dragon, just because it's better looking, in my opinion. I really like this camo. It really does look pretty good. But let's go over the stats real quick to showcase just why this is literally identical to the Miyoko in every single way. Now, first of all, we're running the Aiming Systems Mod 1. We are running Steering Gears Mod 2. And we are running Concealment System Mod. That being said, is there... I don't think there is... Wait. Yeah, this one here is the one that you may want to reconsider. Instead of going with Aiming System Mod 1, you may want to go with the Main Battery Mod 2. If you don't have one of the other commanders that I'm about to show you. But just keep that in mind. Now, let's get to the commander, because I kind of skipped that. We're using Isoroku Yamamoto, no big surprise there. We are running Victor F. Einstein as our inspiration, and Charles Madden as our inspiration. Now, I think Victor F. Einstein is glitched at the moment, because it says it's only plus 0.7 degrees per second, and I'm fairly confident that's what it starts with, and I have him upgraded to 13. Now, I don't think it actually is only given 0.7. I think it's actually giving more than that, because I went from a 43.6 second turret traverse down to a 36 something. So it's definitely helping more than 0.7 degrees per second. Now, if you look at Charles Madden, his is plus 3.75% on the main battery traverse speed. So, I don't know. But it just seems like this should be going up. And if you look at his skill, let me, it's not gonna let me. But anyway, it's 0.7 degrees per second is what it's showing, but I think it's wrong. I think it actually should be more than that. It's just not shown correctly, but I could be wrong. Southern Dragon. Southern Dragon, we already showed you the perks that we're running. We are running the community contributor flag and the camo that comes with it, because why wouldn't you? And then survivability, 39,200 with a 13% torpedo damage reduction, which is identical to both the Eastern Dragon and the Miyoko. Main battery, 203mm third year type Mod Cs. You get 10 of them, and they fire out to 16.3, they reload in 13.7, and as you can see, we've got our 180 degree turn time down to 37.5. And that's still not good, but it's a heck of a lot better than the 48 seconds that it started with, which is insane. I think it was 48 seconds. It's high 40s, okay? You can't use the ship in that regard. You must put some points or somewhere in your build to help these turrets traverse. And I've got them down to 37.5. Now, if we were to take, let's just for the S&Gs of it, if you don't know what that means, I apologize, but I don't want to say it because then I might get demonetized. Not that I've mattered in the past, but anyway. Let's go with the main battery. We just wasted 25 gold, but let's go with the main battery and then look at our stats here. What is our turret traverse now? Down to 33.3. That's a lot more respectable. So yeah, that's another 4 seconds. So in my opinion, you definitely want to do everything you can to maximize the turret traverse of this, because as you know, if you've ever played a Japanese heavy cruiser before, they cannot take hits, period, by anything. Anything shoots at them, bad things happen. So you do not want to be taking hits in them. So you need to maximize your steering as best you can, and then on top of that, you need to work on getting those turrets to actually traverse. Otherwise, you're just going to be spending half the game not able to shoot at anything because you're constantly dodging. Because everybody shoots at you the moment you get spotted, because it's an easy kill. Everybody knows it. 610mm triple launchers, and you have 4 of them. 2 triple launchers per side. They reload 82 seconds. They have a maximum of 17,233 damage, 1.6 kilometer surface detectability for the torps, and a 10 kilometer range, so pretty nice. Torpedo speed, a little on the slow side, 62 knots. Maneuverability, 35 knots, 780 meter turning radius, which is worse than the Alabama. Just putting that out there. Rudder shift time, 5.7 seconds. Everybody asks me why I always say I compare things to the Iowa or the Alabama. It's because I know those ships and I know their stats by heart. I've got them in my head, and everybody knows that they're battleships. So if I'm doing a cruiser review and I say it's worse than a battleship, then you probably know that it's not particularly good for a cruiser. Just throwing that out there. Concealment. 10.3 kilometers surface detectability, which is, pretty good. It's not bad. And that is because we're running the concealment mod, right? I think we are. Detectability by air, 6.5. Guaranteed is always 2. And the detectability while firing in smoke is 6.7 kilometers. So not too shabby on that front. Armor is where these Japanese heavy cruisers just absolutely get pounded. They don't have any. The fore and aft plating is 16 millimeters, so no armor there. You're going to get absolutely obliterated by everything that is 203 millimeters and above. You can angle against 203 millimeter armor piercing, but if they're hitting you with HE, they're just going to rip you apart. And then if you do give too much of your broadside, they'll just citadel you with the AP. You cannot give the broadside of this ship to just anybody, all right? Because they will take it. Now, if we get rid of all the other good stuff and we look at the Citadel, here you go. This is why these things just get wrecked, okay? The Citadel extends from the front gun all the way to the rear gun, and for the middle section of the ship, which is the part that everybody shoots for, because generally speaking, if you hit the center of a ship at the waterline, you're going to do Citadel damage, right? Well, on the Japanese cruisers, they have a raised Citadel. Can't really see it because of the camo, so I apologize, but it extends almost halfway to the deck. Okay, that is a massive weakness, and that is why these ships get dev struck so freaking often. Because anybody that looks at them with armor piercing, while they're giving up too much of their broadside, just Citadels the snot out of them. So keep that in mind. You can see it pretty well right here in this black area in the back. You can see it. It's almost halfway to the deck. That's how big the Citadel extends above the water. It's insane. So, yeah, let's get to the overview. Pyromania, superior HE damage. Those are both things that the Japanese enjoy. And then sluggish aim, below average main battery. We already talked about that. That is absolutely rough. The Southern Dragon is named after... oh, God. O'Quinn? O'Kin. Alquin? Alkin. I'm not sure. Somebody's going to have to let me know, and you guys will probably do it anyway. I have no idea. I apologize. But the Dragon King of the South Sea, from Journey to the West. Huh, okay. We'll go with it. Entered service in 2017. There were 2 of them in the series. Huh. Who'd have thunk it? In other words, it's a fake ship. Doesn't exist. It was in an anime or something. Anyway, look at this. I like the ship. I really do. I like the look of the ship. But at the end of the day, it's a Japanese heavy cruiser, and it's absolutely horrendous for anything other than fire starting. You just get wrecked. It's great for counter-destroyers if you get a chance to absolutely punch them in the mouth. But let's look at that real quick. Like, is that not sexy? Like, let's just be real. It looks like one of those... neon paints, you know what I'm saying? Under the black light, how it glows. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminds me of. So, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be on Land of Fire, and I think that's kind of fitting for the ship, right? But we're going to see what we can get into. Now, I apologize if the video looks a little weird. There was an update today for my Elgato capture card, and I think it has kind of made it a little off. So it's going to take me a little while to get my settings back where I need it to go. Once I get it squared away, I think we'll be okay, but just letting you guys know what's going on. As always, you know, I don't hide anything from you guys. I always try to be as honest as possible. Now, like I said, I don't know why anybody in particular would go for this when it's literally just a Miyoko. That's the only thing I can figure. Now, it probably gets a premium bonus because it is considered a premium ship, so maybe it'll earn silver a little bit better, but at the end of the day, I don't know why they did it, honestly, and I don't know why anybody would go out and buy them unless you just really like this camo or the other camo, but that's your business. I'm just here to showcase the ship, and like I've done before with the Miyoko, I'm just not a big fan of the Japanese heavy cruisers. I know that they are good at fire starters, and that's pretty much it. They have long-range torpedoes, but the torpedo angles are not particularly good. There's just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of them. Let's just put it that. But we're going to head over to the right, try to help our team win that side, and then we will push back around. And we're going to do a pretty decent job in this match of not being the main focus of the enemy. Whether that's by just the way I end up playing or by, you know, just the fact that the enemy decided I didn't need to die right away, which is a huge step up from what normally happens when I'm in a match. But, you know, sometimes you just get lucky, and this, I think, was one of those matches where just, you know, it was a nice balance of people not wanting to kill me right away and people that give themselves up to be set on fire a lot. And so we're going to take advantage of it. We get a shot off at the Gneisenau right off the bat, we get a single fire. You can't argue with that. I love that. Anytime you get fires right away, it's nice as a fire-starting cruiser. So that's huge, getting a fire that early. Also, he damage conned it. Or no, he didn't damage con it. But we get a second fire on the nose, and that's going to force the damage con, because, you know, as soon as they hit 2 fires, they're guaranteed to damage con. And so we're going to shoot again, try to get another fire on him. He's already lost half his hit points. Being broadside to everybody on our team right now is probably not the best play. And then we get another fire. My RNG for fires is absolutely off the charts right now. Like, this never happens. But I'll take it, you know. The Japanese crew, well, Japanese in general have really good AG. We all know it. It has better penetration than most nations, so it hits harder than most. But then on top of that, it seems to set fires all the time. And sometimes multiple fires, though we haven't had that in this one. But that last fire that we set's going to burn for a while. We get some more shots off at him. I'm not too concerned with the Warspite as of right now. He's focused on our cruiser up ahead of me, which is not good for our cruiser because the cruiser pushed into the cap and pushed the enemy DD out, which was a great play. But putting yourself at the forefront of the aggression of both the Gneisenau and a Warspite in a cruiser, not going to be your best day. Now we see the Shiratsuyu over here. We try to take the shot. He was drifting forward a little bit. We shoot into the fire, and we had 22,200, and we didn't hit him. Darn it. But Gneisenau's still out there, just surviving on a whim at this point. Like, it just refuses to die. We take another shot at the Gneisenau, and now we're going to have to start affecting this Warspite. Our friendly battleship here. Oh, we get a fire on the Gneisenau. That's nice. Unfortunately, he's going to damage con it immediately. He's low health, so that's to be expected. And so we try to get another shot over there to try to damage con, or to take advantage of his damage con being on cooldown. That was a bad shot by me. And are we going to be able to hit him and get a fire? Come on. It would be real nice if the battleships could shoot him and do damage. Our King George up ahead of us actually shot at him. And we're trying to get him off the board. The Shiratsuyu getting way too happy shooting at me at the moment. But I can't really go for him at the moment. I've got a battleship directly in front of me and the Gneisenau. And I am trying to finish this freaking Gneisenau, and he just refuses to die. I don't know if he just got a heal back or what. But this guy just seems to just constantly be regening health. And so we can't seem to finish him off. The battleship smacks him. We're trying to shoot him with the HE. And now I'm getting way too close to this Warspite for my comfort. And now, so I'm going to have to take the risk of dropping these torps. This is what I say by the horrendous torp angles on this thing. they're just horrible. You have to give up the entire side of your ship to shoot torps, which is why you don't want to be doing this unless you're kiting away from people. Then your torps are actually kind of useful, because you can drop torps at really good angles if you're kiting away. But I'm not kiting away, I'm actually pushing. So it's horrendous if you're pushing. Now we get really lucky that our battleship friend up here doesn't get shot, or doesn't shoot me, you know, this Warspite, because we run aground, broadside in front of him. And it's about at this moment that the King George that was out ahead of us eats an entire wall of skill from the Shiratsuyu, who was spotted not that long ago. He decides to try to change course a little bit too late, and that's going to be the death of him. Now we're trying to get some shots into this Warspite, maybe get a fire on him, and looks like we might catch him with a torp here. Looks like maybe one towards the rear of the ship. Come on, baby. Yep, we got it, but no flood. Go figure. Not a single flood. Come on. Why can't I get a flood out of my torpedoes? Everybody else always does. But we've had really good RNG up to this point, so we're going to try to get out of here before those shells catch us, and he does overshoot us just a little bit. Got lucky. But we're not going to stick around and wait for him to get a better shot. And because we know he's already damage-conned our fire, we're going to go ahead and try to get another fire on him, and hopefully we do. So there we go. Got another fire and some nice damage. I want to say it was like 3,300 damage in that salvo, plus the fire. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice out of shooting HE. So he's going to burn for a little bit. The Gneisenau has completely left the building. He's all the way at the edge of the map. He's trying his best to just stay away. And you can't really blame him, but at the same time, you're not helping your team out there. So this Warspite's being focused by everybody. We're doubling back to start heading towards the center cap. We know the Shiratsuyu's over here, so we're going to try to screen for our battleship that is the forefront guy. The guy that's in the cap at the moment. We're going to try to get over here and screen for him. We've got our Hydro running. We're going to throw our plane up. We're doing everything we can to find where this destroyer is. I'm assuming our battleship in the cap is about to eat some torps. Turns out that isn't exactly what happens. Or at least not that I believe. Now, you can see I'm holding my fire, waiting. We don't have anybody in our range. The Queen Elizabeth, or the Warspite's already down. We've got a Fuso here that's broadside to the last known position of the enemy destroyer. I am detected, so I know the destroyer's out here. And so I'm doing everything in my power to help try to spot this guy, or at least spot the torpedoes for the guy. And that's when the Gneisenau takes a shot at me, and we get very, very lucky that it's a German battleship shooting at us. Because that could have been nasty. Being spotted broadside to an enemy battleship in a Japanese heavy cruiser always ends horribly. But you can see how much health that Gneisenau has managed to heal back again after he disengaged. So he just refuses to die at the moment, and I can't afford to sit here broadside to him any longer. So we get lucky. He misses on both sides of our ship, and so we're going to turn away. Now we do have an enemy battleship closing in on us from the center of the map as well. We're getting another shot off at him, and then we look over. Sure enough, it is another German battleship, this one the Bayern. So we're going to do everything we can to get rid of this Bayern now. Now the good news is I have my torpedoes back. I've got my guns ready, and this Bayern immediately goes straight into the island over here to keep from coming through the gap. I thought he was going to go just barreling through the gap at any moment, and it looks like he's going to turn out instead. We take a little bit of a shot from the Gneisenau out there, and you can see he just turned all the way back on himself to go around the long ways of the island instead of coming through. But we're going to go ahead, check him out, get a shot over the island, and I believe we're going to launch some torps in a moment as he forces his way into our side of the map. Because once he comes around that island, he's going to bow in on us and really try to push. And that's great for us because I fire the main guns here, and then I switch to my torpedoes to mask the fact that I'm launching my torpedoes. Because as far as he knows, I'm firing my guns every time they're loaded, right? So I'm hoping I can catch him with a sneaky torpedo, and that's where this ship does really well, is when you're trying to go away from somebody and you have those torps already ready. Now, we use the island to try to shield us. He doesn't have a very good shot, so he shoots at the battleship. That's when I look over. Shiratsuyu is spotted and gets obliterated by the enemy, or by the friendly Synop. And now we are going to push over to help our Synop, who has been in the back of the map the entire game, and I know has not taken any real damage up to this point. Like, he's been in the as far away from everything as possible, but now he's found himself in the front with destroyers nearby. So we're going to push towards him. We don't have our sonar anymore. We are detected because we just fired our guns into his smoke. Gneisno is still right on the edge of our detection, and now can no longer see us. And so we're going to push up, try to get close. Even without our sonar, we have our planes up to try to hopefully spot the torps a little bit earlier. But I know we're getting ready to see the guy, so I don't shoot at the Miyoko yet. And there he is. He pops up. We're already turning to the left to get all the guns to bear. And we are going to punch this guy in the mouth hard. This is what the HE can do. Just absolutely wreck you. It's accurate, it hits hard, and it does nasty things to you. Now, obviously, we punched the guy real hard. The Synop's about to get loaded. Are we going to be able to finish him? Synop gets the finish, but unfortunately, guy craps out a whole bunch of torpedoes just in time for the Synop to take most of them, unfortunately. And now that the big target has been obliterated, that leaves me versus everybody on the enemy team at the moment. There's a Colorado out there, there's Miyoko out there, and I believe a York way out there behind the island. So we're going to start focusing the York, or the Miyoko, sorry, and trying to get him off the board, and then we're going to try to kite away and just protect it. We've got the lead. There's no reason to do anything stupid. You can see I want to shoot the Colorado, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, Miyoko, there he is. He just got spotted again. We're going to try to burn him down. We lose our rudder temporarily, and we're going to try to use the map to get us away from these guys. I'm trying to keep my ship on target, and also trying to avoid the island that's out in front of us. And unfortunately, I'm going to turn back on just a little too much here and a little too soon and run right into the freaking island. As you can see on the map, it looks like I was going to avoid it, but no, I managed to run right into it. Now, we get another shot off the Miyoko. We're not in fear of running into these torpedoes at the moment, but that Colorado is just mangling us at the moment. So we avoid the torpedoes from the Miyoko. Knew they were coming, not that big a deal. But I know I'm going to die. There's no getting away from this. I made a stupid mistake here at the end. I know I'm going to die. It's whether or not I can finish this Miyoko before I die and at least give my team a better opportunity instead of having 2 fire starters against them plus the Colorado. So we get some shots. We're going to be firing the guns every chance we can. We're getting good hits. My accuracy is pretty good. And unfortunately, we do go down to the Colorado. But good news is we managed to take out the Miyoko with us, getting that flesh wound. Gotta love those shells in the air, man. They just seem to hang for just long enough. But now, the battleships on my team do not need to do anything, and they win. All they have to do is keep them out of B, and we win this match. We are winning by 400 points. Like, there is absolutely no reason for this Fuso to push out and engage this Colorado. But I admire his gumption, you know? There are times where you just need to disengage and say, you know what, we win, period. You can't beat us, because we have the points lead. Your team didn't do enough. We did. We win. And so winning harder ends up costing you more matches than I care to admit. Like, it's just a thing. Now, we're inside 900 points, so we have less than 100 points left in order to win this match, which is good, because this Fuso is definitely really feeling it. He wants to kill him a Colorado, but Colorado has a huge advantage over him. Colorado overmatches his bow. And so even if this guy doesn't keep going broadside in front of the Colorado, just begging to be deleted, he can be punched straight through the bow of the ship. So with all of that being said, this guy's going to get pretty freaking lucky in this fight and to not be absolutely removed. Less than a minute to go in the match, plus we're less than 40 points away at this point from winning the match. So we're not in any danger unless this guy just completely yokes. And even then, even if we lose him, we're not going to lose the fight. Let's be real. The other battleship, all he has to do is stay alive. This guy, even if he does get obliterated here, doesn't make a difference. We don't lose. But He gets a good shot against the Colorado, but the Colorado had a better shot at him, and he's just really lucky not to be just obliterated. Japanese battleships can be absolutely mangled when they overangle the way this guy has in this match. But at the end of the day, we pull it out. We did enough to win, and that's what matters, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from with these new ships. I don't understand why anybody would buy them, but if you do, more power to you. We get some more steel because we finished our campaign by buying it out, because I can't help it. I need that Missouri in my life. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.